This is a thing. Hi everyone. Hopefully you're not ripped in peace and you're doing pretty good and on a Thursday. First Thursday of June. Cool beans.
Heck yes.
Heck yeah. So we got
Of course.
quite a bit of news today. Yeah, quite a bit of news. We got keycap news, keyboard news, normal other news stuff. But instead of having a guest today, you know what? Since Computex is going on, I figured I'd pull a few articles from Computex, see what the general keyboard non-enthusiast community is doing, because a lot of those people who are consumers and prosumers will eventually be enthusiasts, and I want to see where that market is, as possibly people will be approaching the new and awesome enthusiast level. Yeah, so we're gonna have an awesome show for you guys today. Let's hit that intro.
They never see it coming.
Brian, how are you doing this week?
Pretty big thumbs up. I'm doing quite swell. Got some fun things in the mail, so we'll momentarily roll into a little mail call here, because we both have some fun things to show off.
Yeah,
but, it's good. It's going pretty good. I recently rebuilt my Fiel earlier this week, or pretty recent, and put box royals in there. I didn't stream it because I just really wasn't feeling it that night, but so I've been using box royals a little bit. Not too bad. Not too bad.
Thanks for the sub, by the way, Jala Balalala.
Jala Balala. Yep.
All
right. How about you, Huey?
Pretty good week. I got quite a bit of mail this week as well, as we will soon go into. I also have some more mail coming in as well. Otherwise, yeah, pretty good week. You know, just working, living life, doing keyboards. I haven't done any keyboard chores this week. You know, I have a mountain of things to do, and the reason for that is I am getting a tabletop stand where I can have a camera positioned just straight down, so you guys can get just a constant top-down view of my hands and me doing things. So hopefully that'll be cool. But yeah, keyboard stuff, and the wiki's been going pretty good. Still making progress on that as well.
Cool. Yep, I'm still chucking away on my Switch lubing guide as well. It'll probably wind up being a more all-encompassing Switch modification guide, but yeah. So look forward to those. But we do have some fun mail calls. Speaking of Huey doing things with his hands on camera, we got some fun things. So I got a TS100. It's a tiny little soldering iron that I'll be trying out tomorrow on stream. That should be pretty fun. We have some things to build tomorrow, so if you're into keyboard chores, make sure you check it out. So that'll be cool. But I also got this. This is, we all need something really sensual here.
Oof! Wow!
It's so easy and enjoy.
Oof!
So clearly, I think you guys probably know what this is.
It was a gift from me too.
Oof, yeah, Huey knows exactly what I like. So opening it up here, it has its own little carrying case, for a little portability, discreet portability. So yeah, you kind of open it here, and then bam, it's a screwdriver.
Yes.
So not exactly the kind of screwdriver you're expecting. So this is the best name for a product ever. This is the Xiaomi Wow Stick. And it's essentially, I think, a more budget-oriented competitor to the ES120 and ES121 that has been quite popular in the Top Hat community. Huey uses it, Huey loves it, a lot of other people love it. So it came with a bunch of bits that I'll have to try that out. I haven't actually put this together and used it yet, but it says WOW on it. Wow Stick. Wow! I don't know, when I first opened this up, I'm like, this is a sex toy. But it has a little magnet carrying case too, which is pretty cool. Yeah, for all your brewing needs. So I'll be trying that out tomorrow as well. That'll be fun. Awesome. And I also just got
Even more?
micro HDMI cable for my camera, so I can hopefully use this capture card that I'm trying out. It's a prototype from Pluggable. It was going to be a little trouble earlier, but I didn't really spend a whole lot of time with it, so hopefully I can get that sorted by tomorrow, so I can, have a fancy camera for keyboard chores, like Huey does. Mr. Key's asking for the link, the link to the WoW stick. Yeah, type in Xiaomi WoW stick, like on Google.
Xiaomi WoW stick.
Yeah, it's sold on everywhere, like Amazon, AliExpress, etc., etc. Type in WoW stick. It's amazing. So, I don't know, man. I love the packaging on this. It's so good. Is it vibrating? Maybe. Yeah.
It could.
Yeah, I was fondling the carrying case a little bit. Anyways, Huey, what did you get?
I got a bundle of fun. I got a LED light for my camera, so my build chores and other video stuff that I do at night will be much brighter and easier to see. I got a new ball head camera joint, so because this current one is big, fat, and heavy and not that durable, I got an AC/DC adapter for the LED light, so I don't have to run on a battery, and it'll just keep giving constant, awesome, adjustable lighting as I do my thingamabob. I got a camera slider, so now when I do reviews, you guys will have some hopefully nicer and smoother footage of everything, which will be awesome. And something else, it was kind of like a live person mail call. This last weekend was really fun because this last weekend I went down to the Bay Area and I saw a lot of awesome people. I visited with Hata and Andrew of Input Club, Mr. Nathan Kim of the ever so famous Nathan Kim YouTube channel was there, who does some of the best typing sounds in the community. A lot of other people from the Clack community, hopped out on Friday night to grab dinner with us all at Teskey's Germania. It was a German restaurant and it was amazing. Yeah, I had like a lot of beer and a lot of pork. It was really, really good. And during that time and during that weekend, I received 2 more amazing pieces of mail, because of gifts. So one is in person from Ryan Norbauer himself. I did receive my DSA Galaxy class set. He did the official handoff to me. That was really, really cool. And the second thing is also really, really awesome and unique. Is I got, a lot of people know I have a NorboTouch case, but for a while you guys haven't seen it and I haven't put it on my keyboard tracker. And the reason is Ryan has been powder coating it for me a custom one-off color. Oof. Photographer gray. Kind of hard to see in the lighting I have. Yeah, so bad news is I did accidentally dent it. Good news is Ryan is going to give me a replacement bottom free of charge of the same one-off color. And I asked him if he wanted the old one back, and he said, nope, it's a doorstop for me now. So I have one of the best doorstops in the community.
Wow.
Yeah. It was
we'll
actually
be expecting some awesome pictures of that once it's completed.
It was really cool. Like people mentioned in chat, we did visit the Input Club office. They're actually going to be moving offices soon. But we saw the office. They gave everyone there who hasn't been there a little tour. Hata showed off all of his keyboards. People got to see the Force Curve machine, which was really, really awesome. We played with a lot of random switches, a lot of different keyboards, a lot of vintage keyboards. And we drank a lot.
Sounds like a typical time with
always a good time. I'm not gonna give any details about it yet, but I will say I have proposed a new Switch idea to Input Club, who likes the Switch idea, and on my behalf is going to hopefully talk to Kale about it. So I might have a Switch coming out in the future. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. Depends on what the engineers say is possible or not. So we'll see. I hope it's possible.
We will see.
Well, that's my mail.
Anyways, now we can roll into the news. The
Air
news.
horns. Hold on. About to sneeze again. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna sneeze again because I'm better than that.
That's willpower, man. Sneezes always come in packs of 2.
First off, we gotta do keycap news. Okay, keycap news is really, really important, you know. And we're just gonna start it off just right out there, right in your face, you know, unzipped and ready to go. The big bone.
Oh. You know how I feel when the big bone's in my face.
Interest check for the MDA Mix Big Bone Custom Keycap set. This has been teased for a little bit by Percent on their Discord. Basically, it's the mix set with a better colorway and amazing compatibility, which is basically what I asked for at the beginning. So yeah,
looks pretty good. I still have yet to try mixed profile, but at least now we're starting to see colors that are a little bit more liked in the community here, which is nice. It's kind of more of like a, you know, gray, beige, white-ish kind of thing.
yes.
So that'll satisfy the people that are, you know, into things like muted and such. A lot of compatibility here. Very cool. Are there going to be different kits? Is that how it works?
I believe these. Yeah, I believe these are all going to be different kits. I mean, going to one buy for all of those, I feel like it's going to be more expensive than most people would want, and have way more keycaps than they care about.
Okay, yeah. Very cool.
I'm looking forward to it. I want a mix set with good compatibility. Just one, just to have.
Yeah, I think I pretty much need that as well. So I'll probably be getting in on this. Most likely.
Most likely, in Dieterino.
Yep.
So, let's move on to our next topic at hand, which is the interest check for SA Royalty, which is a very nice looking set.
So royal.
Yeah, dude, it's a nice, you know, sepia toned. I like this almost a quote that they put on the website. He had a keyboard that could make a Wolverine purr and keycap so fine they made Apple look like a hobo. Almost a quote from the Anchorman narrator.
That is quite something. So this kind of has a GMK Burgundy kind of vibe to it.
To me, it more has a SA retro kind of vibe to it.
Okay. I can see that too. Not too bad. I mean, it's nice. It's kind of subdued. It's not too in your face. I dig that.
It's pleasant to look at.
I thought the accents aren't doing it for me though.
Do you think it'd be more or less contrast for the accents, or just different colors?
I don't know. Maybe different colors. I don't know. I don't really see that working together too well for me. But then again, I'm not the person to talk to when it comes to color. So there it is. So if you're into this, make sure you join the waitlist here on Kono and show some support there. This is yo thing.
Speaking of things that are people's things, for pretty much I've noticed XDA as a profile has been extremely hit or miss, which brings us to our next topic, the Mass Drop Mito XDA Canvas Custom Keycap Set Round Dos. That is 2 for those of you who do not know that translation.
Wow.
Hey, I don't know. I don't judge, man. Just silently. This is XDA Canvas. I have XDA Canvas on my plank. I actually think it's probably one of the nicest looking XDA sets. The issue is XDA, in my opinion, isn't the best to type on. I am typing on XDA right now on my Chewy 60 because where else am I going to get 2-3U space bars?
Yeah, XDA didn't really do it for me when I first tried it when it came out. I thought it was meh. I'd rather type on DSA, I think, so I prefer the curvature a little bit more, the finger couches.
Yeah.
I do love the way Canvas XDA looks, though. I think it is a very nice looking set. Definitely appreciate the colors and all the accents and all the extra weird kits with all like the epic alphas and stuff. Oh, looks nice. There's a lot of kits to this. Holy crap.
That Manfred set, that is definitely going to be a unique looking one in real pictures. Where they got the blue with those runic legends.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite something. Huh. Anyways.
Yeah, something that is actually a more subdued look as well is our next interest check for our next key set topic. GMK Grey on Black. This is by Donut Cat, who is working on a few projects. It's as it is. Dark gray on the blackest black of night.
Yeah, I think I'm into this, but I'd like to see a render. Sorry, it's too hard to know without a render, but I do like that. I'm assuming Caps Unlocked probably had something to do with a similar set in the past. But
GMK
yeah,
Doom. Well, it's the same colorway as GMK Doom. Donut Cat did get permission from Caps Unlocked for the same exact colorway because he's not doing the Doom theme. He's just doing, here are two colors.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Gotcha. Let's see some renders. I do like that he has the
I guess
1.5U text backspace.
I guess if you want to see renders, just look at Caps Unlocked GMK Doom renders.
I mean, okay, so they're the exact same color code?
Yeah, the exact same color code. Zerpocalypse, okay. Thanks for 4 months in a row with that tier 1 sub.
Whew.
Oh, I missed Iridius too earlier? Did I miss Iridius earlier? I see him on the list. I must have missed him. Yeah, you did. Thanks, Iridius, for striving 6 months in a row for Twitch Prime. Sorry I missed you earlier.
I didn't see it either.
Right? Must have been during a transition. But yeah, just go look at GMK Doom renders if you want to check this out. Okay. Or look at the Exent. Yeah, right. Exent, I think, has the same colors. Cool.
Yeah.
Maybe this will have a better chance.
Inexpensive.
Maybe this will have a better chance because it's not including that third color, that yellow.
Indeed.
So yeah.
New profile potentially on the horizon.
Profile?
Of course, this is still an interest check, so we'll see where this goes. But SSS profile. I'm kind of out of it today, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, SSS profile is being proposed by user Spectre III, and this is an interesting one. It looks. Would you call this medium profile, or would you call this a high profile set?
I'd probably call it high profile.
Yeah, like it looks kind of high profile. To me, it looks somewhat similar to like MT3 and SA, but I guess it's hard to say without using it and with only one picture. But obviously, some notable things here: the inside stepped alt keys.
Yes.
So that caught my attention. I thought that was interesting, if nothing else. But our high pro keycaps, like, is this going to be like kind of the new thing? Because obviously, Novel Keys has a high profile coming out in the near future that he's been working on for a little while now.
SAQ is still backed up until Blade Runner 2020 million.
So are high profile MX stem keycaps like the thing now? Is that like what people want? I'm not sure if that's like just a trend or something, but I don't know. Toasty Party, thank you for the sub for 2 months in a row. Appreciate that, man.
Heck yeah. To be honest, I wish this was on a keyboard for more idea of the total look and total angle. I know if you scroll down a little bit, he does have a kind of a comparison, saying it's closer to Cherry and OEM than it is MT3. So TBD. I just want, an MT3 set without bad legends. Or just all blanks. I don't know. We'll see. TBD.
Hopefully we'll get that. I would be interested in trying this though. It looks lower than something like SA.
Yeah. So one thing
better.
I think is a concern about this though, it being high pro, is the thickness, because this person calls for a 1.8 millimeter wall thickness, and with north-facing LED switches, you can have definite clashes between housing and keycap. People already complain about that with 1.5 millimeter thickness keycaps. This is 1.8. No, these are straight up thicker, noticeably thicker. So,
yeah. Again, it does that also depends on what size LEDs you're using.
yeah.
A lot of people like to use like the 2x3x4 ones, like those like kind of rectangle block ones, which honestly are like not always as good as 1.8 millimeter. I think it's 1.8 millimeter LEDs. Like those don't really clash with anything because like they sit so low in the switch.
So one thing I did want to bring up before we move on to the next topic is this person is designing the Switch with Cherry MX, Topra, and box switch compatibility in mind. All three of those. Cherry MX, Topra, and KL box switch compatibility.
So is it kind of going to be kind of like like a TMX stem, like the artisan community was doing a lot of the last couple of years?
Until box switches became popular and TMX stems don't fit on them.
Yeah, well, maybe this person's design will somehow. I don't know. It seems a little too good to be true, if I'm being honest. This is a very early interest check, obviously. So.
Yeah.
And interest checking a profile, we've kind of seen that this is much harder than something that's just like a colorway or a keyboard. Look at Evan's hub profile and how tough that was, for him to do, and like he still wasn't even able to do it. Mike of Novelties has been working for quite a while now on his new profile, and I don't even know how close he is to getting that out. So new profiles require new tooling, new molds, stuff like that, and that stuff's not cheap. So actually, a lot of people have to really be behind a new profile.
With Mix, with this, XDA is relatively recent as well, with all these different profiles and everything. I do want to ask chat, what would you guys prefer? Would you guys prefer improvements on existing profiles, or would you prefer people try to experiment with new profiles? As a personal preference to you, the viewer, I'm a bit curious, because there's kind of always, two ways to go about that. Because if people were spending a lot of money for tooling, it could be used in, one of two ways: a new profile or improving an existing one. That's what I think that another avenue that people still maybe haven't thought about for the possibility of dropping that dough.
I agree, because like you don't really see a demand for new profiles. People aren't like, oh crap, we only have GMK and SA and DSA, et cetera, like I need new profiles. It's like you don't really see people saying that. It's not really like it's not really a problem that needs fixing, because no one really has that problem.
So to clarify on improvements people might be asking about, so Cherry Profile, fixing some of the legends that Cherry GMK has with Cherry Profile. If you guys haven't noticed, there are some legend inconsistencies. Fixing the edge, so you don't have striking against LEDs or switch housings for north-facing switches. 1.5 millimeter DCS. Come on, guys! 1.5 millimeter DCS. Please.
I'd be cool with that. Yeah.
Fixing legends on MT3 would technically count because it's existing at this point now, but it is also money that could have been spent.
More or less just perfecting, both, the sculpt and the features themselves of the keycaps that are already existing.
Getting OEM keycaps to be manufactured at 1.5. That would
Yeah,
technically be an improvement. Think of if every stock OEM board that shipped from Razer, Corsair, Ducky, Cooler Master had stock, even if it was OEM profile still, 1.5 mil.
I think they'd all probably sound better, if nothing else.
So I think interesting thing to think about. Speaking of interesting things, I would love to see all your guys' feedback, by the way, about this.
Oh yeah, Iridius brings up a good point. I'd personally like to see new materials.
Yeah, new materials could count as an improvement if you're using an existing profile.
Yeah, I mean, we already have, we have POM, we have APS, PBT, PPS is a new one, but that one kind of went over kind of shaky. A lot of people weren't really into that. I personally thought they were kind of cool when I tried them, but yeah, it would be interesting to see like more materials.
Good double shot PBT keycaps that are readily available, things like that. So I think it's worth food for thought.
Yeah, most definitely. I don't think new profiles like hurt the community really in any way, but it's also not really something I think there's a demand for. So it's kind of just weird that we're seeing it a lot more. But I guess as the community grows, we're just people doing more things and new things, and that's both good and bad depending on who you talk to. All right, moving on to something.
Keyboards. We got an interest check here for the Proto-X, a high-profile carbon 6% case. So while you hit us up with that specs, I'm going to open up the prototype picks album so people who are watching can see these prototype picks. Hit us up with those specs, Brian. What do we got here?
So the case itself is carbon fiber. It is 3D printed, 8 degrees of angle, high profile. It will have the universal 60% mounting holes, so this is like, it is a tray mount, obviously. So you'll get that standard kind of universal, those mounting points. Weight is 8.6 ounces, which is very light. That's just over half a pound, which is it's going to be like a little over one. Wait, how much is a kilo? I'm always wrong.
2.2 pounds is a kilo.
Oh, okay, so it's like 0.25 kilos, basically 0.3 kilos. 300 grams or whatever. I don't know. I'm bad at this. But the point is, it's very light. So, and that's kind of the point here. Obviously, when you use carbon fiber, one of the benefits is that it's virtually weightless in comparison to other materials. So that's kind of interesting. I haven't really taken a look at this album yet, so I'm kind of doing that right now too. Sorry. In this prototype, he does have a carbon fiber plate with it, so he's really going hard on that lightness. He will be launching it with a PCB, the Kibo Blue DZ60 RGB. Currently carried. Who's this run by?
Kibo.
Okay. I've never actually ordered anything Kibo or Kebo, I guess. KEB. Anyway, sorry to interrupt you. What were you gonna say?
So I think sound is going to be a big consideration on whether or not people will get this board, because being 3D printed, I can't imagine it's terribly thick to save on material. I could be wrong, but I mean it seems like a great board if you're looking for something really, really light. We were just about that ultralight lifestyle. I know a lot of EDC everyday carry, not electric, that's carnival. People are all about the that super lightness.
Yeah, so one thing to note here is actually kind of cool is the price. So with an MOQ of 140, which isn't terribly unreasonable, it's $50 USD. You can add a plate for $45, a carbon fiber plate, which is almost as expensive as the case itself. That's kind of crazy to think about. And a PCB is $40 when you bundle it with the case and plate. So as a kit potential, it's actually not too bad. I definitely we should get one of these to try it out, honestly.
Yeah, we should.
So the IC actually ended yesterday, but the group buy portion. Wait, GM period start. Hold on. I don't know if he means GB period start, but apparently June 7th, which is today, something is starting. So I imagine he means group buy there, not GM, whatever that means. But so shipping time will begin shipping early July and can be shipping out what others are printed. So it's printed, so he can kind of bang this out like kind of quickly. He doesn't really have to go to a third party manufacturer like a lot of other case group buys happen through. So that's why he's able to hit those pretty quick shipping times
and low prices.
And low prices. Yeah, he's probably just doing it all himself. Yeah, I think we should probably get one of these, try it out.
Yeah.
Because it's inexpensive enough to be like, huh. Okay. I would like to see how many orders he gets though, because the weird thing about the price is at 100 MOQ it's $70, and at 140 it's $50. That's a pretty narrow gap in terms of MOQ for a pretty big price break.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to try to get one of these. See if I sign up for them.
So
what do you guys think about carbon fiber case, like a full carbon fiber case? Do you think this is gonna feel or sound really good or bad?
So I have a board of the carbon fiber plate. It's the board of which the colorway is really, really hit or miss for most people who have seen this board. It's my ever so beautiful JTK Toxic on Revo Human. I do have a carbon fiber plate with mod M switches. I've been told by Mr. Nathan Kim I should absolutely lube these, which I will in an upcoming keyboard chores. But in terms of feel, I think carbon fiber has a very interesting springiness to it in a way. I'm not honestly in terms of like a whole case though. I'm not sure how well that would translate.
Yeah. And it's so light too, man. Like so light. Hey, not even 9 ounces. This is substantially lighter than an HHKB.
My ROM M6 could wreck that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the ROM M6 is quite a bit heavier than it, but it's actually like more than 3 times as heavy as this 3D printed 60% carbon fiber case. So nuts, man, absolutely nuts.
Yeah, we'll get one. We'll try it out. We'll put our thoughts on a document and maybe have a review in the future. But yeah, Top Clack's gonna get one of these.
We'll get one of these. Yeah,
we'll do it for you guys. Do it for the Top Clack. Speaking of something on the opposite side of the price range that people consider, is Topra. And speaking of Topra, PFU and Topra are doing a actual collab for the Realforce R2 ANSI version and JS version. They're gonna have a Type S Realforce in the ANSI for the round 2.
That's pretty cool. Not the first time we've seen a silenced Realforce, obviously, but it's going to be a lot more accessible than the 10th anniversary one with the purple sliders.
Yes, so it will have the new APC feature, which is the actuation point changer, which allows you to change where it registers it actuates. It's not going to change the physical bump because that's that's the dome. But it'll have that, which is cool. It's going to come in the gray color and the black color. 45 gram uniform. Yeah.
Is it only going to be 45 gram uniform?
Yes. For this collab with the silence.
Gotcha.
I hope they still plan on bringing the round 2 to 55 grams. So I was looking into this, and the price from Japan in Japan is like $268. That's before shipping. I mean, I wanted to get one of these, but like that's kind of a pretty penny. So one interesting thing I want to note is look at the bottom row. It's standard now.
Oh, it is.
It's a standard bottom row.
Huh. Very
which makes me think, okay, the first time they used a standard bottom row was with the Realforce RGB, because that was RGB and needed the keycaps that could shine through. That was the first time they made it a standard bottom row. I don't think these are MX compatible sliders like the Realforce RGB, but
probably not. Okay, yeah. I thought the Topra Type Heaven might have had a standard bottom row, but it totally did not.
It does not.
So yeah, very, very interesting. I like the look of that. It looks pretty good. It's pretty good. which it came in 55 grams.
So, I'm pretty sure Ryan Norbauer is going to order these because he needs to test whether or not these will fit with the Norbaforce. Because if these don't, then like that completely kills any chance of a round 2. Because these will be replacing.
That's true. Well, maybe look at the Norba Touch.
That's true. That's very true.
He's going to be very successfully running around 2, and like Nova Touches are kind of scarce at the moment.
Yeah, I was actually talking to him about that and how that's kind of like almost a modern marvel of the Nova Touch, despite being dead, is like a phoenix in our community.
Yeah, like you can get a Realforce for like quite a bit cheaper than a Nova Touch these days.
I mean, heck, I got a Nova Touch the other week.
Oh man, I remember
$100 Nova Touches. Remember that? I find like people couldn't get rid of them.
Yeah, I remember putting mine up for 110. Like I had to repost multiple times to sell it. And then now, like, people are paying $250 for them.
Honestly, I think this collab is actually kind of a good way because I know usually in Japan the ergo weight is pretty popular. So I'm really happy for these. They went with at least a uniform weight.
Yeah.
I kind of want to get one of these because I want to see how it sounds with the silence and with the new chassis. That's the big part. The new chassis, I had major complaints for the Realforce RGB. And I want to see whether or not they just cut off the 10 key and kept all the issues, or they had some things they could have done to address it in the smaller TKL version.
Yeah, and so also something kind of interesting to consider is, for those that might not be aware, PFU Fujitsu is the people that do the HHKB. And if you have ever used an HHKB Type S, you might know it's honestly not very good. In comparison to, let's say, a 10th anniversary Realforce with the purple sliders. The Type S really doesn't feel that good, honestly, which is why most people opt to just buy a normal HHKB and silence it in another way, because it winds up being cheaper and better almost universally. So I'd be curious to see if they use the exact same silencing method for these Realforces as the HHKB Type S, or if they take a page out of the traditional Realforce book and use like the purple sliders with that silence pad, because that's quite a bit more loved universally in the community than the Type S. So that could be interesting.
And if you want to figure out how interesting that is, starting June 5th, 2 days ago, the sale for the JIS ones started. The reservation sale for the ANSI ones start July 3rd. So everyone else in the West, or everyone else who cares to use ANSI, will have a little bit more of a wait. Also, if you order a JIS, you also get a free wood wrist rest, by the way. So
only on the JIS?
Yeah.
It's kind of a bummer.
Right?
I mean, it's cool. It's something, but I'd probably want the ANSI version.
Same. Same.
So very cool. Yeah, we might have to get one of these to review it or something.
Speaking of things we might need to get in the future, is the Switchcracker. You may be a very comfortable person at cracking nuts, but this does something a little different. This cracks switches, and in half, but in working half. Crack open MX or box style switches with ease with the Switchcracker. With rugged 3D printed construction, interchangeable prongs for use with MX or box style switches, hold flat design for maximum stability, countersunk holes, optional rubber feet. Open up switches. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty cheap.
It has a little video. Oh, yeah, it's pretty inexpensive for its feature, thankfully. But he has a little video here where he does 66 MX switches in less than 8 minutes. So pretty good time. I don't think I can do that many switches in that amount of time with tweezers, although I am very comfortable with opening switches with tweezers.
I cannot, but my major meh about this is I like using a switch mod station, so everything I open up with this, I have to transfer the parts to the switch mod station, which I would probably still save more time using the Switchcracker if it's 66 and 8 minutes and then moving everything over. We'll see. I'm probably gonna get one or two of these.
I'll probably get one too. especially because this is the first time we've seen one that works on box switches as well as the more traditional MX design. So kudos to this guy for giving you the options there. He includes the clips for both of them.
So they are normally $12 each, but you choose a random color because you might not care. $10. So save a buck, get a random color, hope you're lucky, and you get a color you don't hate.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, you save $2.
Yeah.
Why do you save $2 on a random color? Like, why is that a thing?
Because sometimes if he runs out of a color, instead of marking it out of stock, he'll just buy the more of the plastic and print it, right? He wants all this. My guess is he just wants all the colors always be available. But if, there's one color that he has just so much of, he can just use one of those.
Yeah, for sure. One thing I actually kind of like as a feature on this, and I think maybe a lot of people didn't even notice, is there are actually screw holes on the base of this. So if for whatever reason you can put it on like a material that you don't care about or whatever, put it on like a little wood block or something, maybe to keep it a little bit more down, or you can implement some form of clamp through there as well, just to kind of keep the stability so you don't have to like hold it. Because I imagine being 3D printed plastic, this is going to be pretty light, so it's going to want to move around a lot as you use it. So having something to kind of mount it down is going to be pretty cool.
It does come with rubber feet, and you can also double those holes as a keychain if you want to just carry this around.
I'm going to imagine nobody's going to do that, but because I said that, someone's now going to do it.
Perfect.
Anyways, yeah, we'll definitely have to get some of these as well. That's pretty cool. Anyways, let's move into an interesting news section.
Yeah, so it's Computex this week. Whoa. So I'm gonna put on this album, which you can find in that little Reddit post that Brian will post in chat, where a person at Computex is showing off the FC660M in a Bluetooth variant that takes batteries in the back for some good old 660 layout Bluetooth. There's a better picture of the Tex 7-row keyboard that Brian and I complained and hated in their intro check because they didn't want to show the full board. Now we can actually see what that monstrosity of a board looks like.
Yeah, and actually, I was kind of chewed out for hating on this board for reasons or whatever. But what I actually didn't know, and I apologize for this, when I was hating on this board, is that this is actually the ThinkPad layout for keyboards. So that apparently a lot of people really like that. So that's a thing. That's cool.
A lot of people like a really bad layout. Crazy.
I mean, I'm still not going to call it like a really good layout, but obviously that's preference. A lot of people really like ThinkPads and the way they look and function. So I don't know. It's a very business-esque kind of layout, I imagine, because ThinkPad is kind of targeted towards the business market. So maybe that's a thing, and maybe a lot of people like this. But I think generally speaking, most people in the community weren't really a fan of this layout. Anyways, there's that. So the FC660M is getting the Bluetooth version. That's pretty cool. The 660 is a pretty cool keyboard. Leopold's a pretty reputable brand as far as OEM keyboards go.
I really hope they do a CE version next. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, me too. I think the 660C is really good stock board.
It is
really good stock board. I hope that comes out as well.
Hey Toasty, thanks for gifting your third tier 1 sub now.
Holy crap, man.
Yeah.
This guy's all over it.
Yeah, let's move over to a little announcement. I don't think this is probably not technically Computex, but I consider it in the same realm because this isn't something we ever cover normally. Cooler Master, their company, and they've announced the SK series keyboards, which is a low profile 60%. It has the ever atrocious 2U shift that I am not a big fan of. It has arrow keys with a delete on the right side of up arrow. It has a split backspace, but the backspace key is a 1U key in the corner. Nani?
Yeah, this is pretty strange.
Nani?
I don't think I could really support this particular layout. It's definitely not for me, but it might be for you. But I mean, at the very least, there's some things to note here. Obviously, this is Cooler Master's first 60% keyboard, as far as I'm aware. It's their first low-profile keyboard. It's using what I imagine are wait, I didn't actually read this. Are they using Cherry low profile or are they using Kale low profile?
I don't know. I don't think I've said much about it yet.
Crap. Sorry, I should have tried to figure this out first.
Just hit that Control F.
Yeah, for real. I'll do that later. So low profile caps. So obviously, you're not really gonna be swapping caps out, both because of the low profile design and because of the kind of rare layout this is using.
I hate the fact
it's not totally impossible, but it's very hard.
2 FN keys. Why? On both sides of the space bars. Why? Should you remove that delete and put an FN key there and take out the other FN key?
What is the app key for?
App key? A menu key. Menu context key.
Oh, I've never heard it been called app. I guess that makes sense. Interesting. I don't know.
Dude,
are low profile keyboards going to be like the new thing now that we have the switches for it? When are we going to see like nice custom key sets for this? Or well, I mean, I say nice as in nice as a low profile cap could be. Could be interesting.
I don't know. I'm not digging this. You know, there's too many wrong things from an enthusiast point of view, where I just gotta step back and say,
yeah,
Cooler Master, this is no.
From an enthusiast point of view. But yeah, it's not for everyone, obviously, but might be for some people. I mean, the post is 98% upvoted, and it almost has 3,000 points. So
because it has RGBs.
Obviously, some people are into this, if nothing else. I actually PM'd Cooler Master Glenn the other day, waiting for a reply. I'm trying to get him on the show.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. Having a Cooler Master up would be very cool. I have lots of questions for Cooler Master. Anyways, there's that. That's your thing.
So
speaking of things that might not be your thing, because you watch Top Black,
only want to cover one part of Roccat site right now, which is just new technologies built to last. Oh, there's a link, a click-through link for the Titan Switch, for just the Titan Switch. I'll post it in chat. But yeah, the Roccat Titan Switch. There, go to that link. A Switch built, quote-unquote, entirely in-house by Roccat. Roccat?
I don't know. I think it's supposed to be like Roccat, but I don't actually know.
No. I'm just gonna go Roccat. Yeah. So I just love man, marketing bling is just kind of funny to read because like most vendors in our community like don't put the marketing bling on too heavily because they're not like gamery companies, but quotes. But what does it mean to be more swift and precise for Roccat? And meant making speed and precision the entire focus of development. Every single design consideration for every single part of the Switch was made with that in mind. It also meant breathing new life into the idea of a mechanical Switch and innovating design aspects ignored by many for years. Like what?
I don't know, man. But at the end of the day, this is still a new Switch. It does have the MX compatibility. Hopefully for normal caps too, not just these like kind of weird low profile sculpted ones they have on here. But I don't know, man. Maybe it's really good. Maybe it's not. But it's still a new Switch to try, and hopefully we can try it at some point.
Together,
without having to buy like an expensive crazy board for this.
Together, these switches create an exceptional keystroke that is swift and responsive, tactile and crisp, and solid and reliable. The best feeling keystroke around.
So it's as swift as a coursing river. It has
Okay.
the force of a great typhoon.
I know this is technically an opinion thing, but it says, okay, the best feeling keystroke around. A paragraph and a half up, similar in feeling to most liked brown switches.
This was probably written by someone that doesn't speak English very well, I'm gonna imagine.
Oh my god.
I don't know, man. It's a new Switch, if nothing else. It's the new Switch.
Okay, well, let's talk about an old Switch that will be available onto new keyboards soon. I'm sure all of you have seen this. Razer mechanical switches coming to third-party keyboard makers. Although, when it says coming to third-party keyboard makers, I definitely want to ask you guys, what do you think it means in one of two ways? Do you think that switches will be available to be bought in packs for people, or do you think they're going to be allowing other keyboard manufacturers access to their switches?
Other keyboard manufacturers access their switches. I'd almost guarantee Razer has no interest in the enthusiast community. They are mainstream to the core, and they advertise as such, and they sell a lot of boards because of it. I'd like them to be available individually. That'd be kind of fun to try. I believe they are still using Roccat as an OEM.
I believe so.
Which is actually kind of funny when you think about it, because they used to use Kale back in 2014, when Kale was the worst Switch manufacturer, and then right before Kale upped their quality and revamped their factory, Razer switched from Kale to Roccat. So
Yeah.
it's odd to think that maybe if they would have stayed with Kale, they would have had pretty okay switches, because a lot of the new Kale switches are pretty good.
Or maybe they're the ones bringing Kale down.
I don't think so, because Kale had switches before Razer had a contract with them.
That's true. Kale's had switches for years and years and years before
Kale's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Fun stuff indeed. So I do want to do one last Computex. Vortex was over at Computex. A lot of people love Vortex because, hey, the poker. Anyone who joined in Brian and my generation of keyboard people who joined got a poker at one point in their life, except for me.
Yeah,
I got a Ducky
pretty
Mini
much, yeah.
because I was into bezels before they were cool.
I had both.
Ooh, baller. So they unveiled this new 105 key keyboard, which is, you might think, isn't that just a 96 key? No, it's a 105. They have an extra row between the numpad and everything else. Okay, it's gonna have Bluetooth. What? Interesting. It's gonna have double shot, side printed, shine through keycaps.
Is it just me, or does that look awful? Personally, I think the shine through front printed keycaps are a little extreme. Or not front, but you know what I mean. Side printed towards the front, towards you, as opposed to on top of the keycap. That looks so goofy to me.
I'll have to give this a no.
That's what we should start doing. We should have gone through all of our Computex topics and picked out like a bunch more. It just gave things thumbs up or thumbs down.
So I will say that in my opinion, there is one advantage to this, is having those cramped arrow keys there without sacrificing the 2U0 on the numpad. Because actually, I think for most people, I don't think people realize, people who use numpads a lot, how difficult it can be to switch from a 2U to a 1U0 on the numpad. If you do a lot of number crunching, you might know what I mean. Personally, when I do a 96 key, I prefer no arrows cramped there, and I used to use the numlock arrows on the numpad, which is 2, 4, 6, 8, because arrows I do appreciate.
Wow,
So,
nice.
yeah. But I definitely like that, at least you have the 2U still. That exists. What you're going to use those extra keys for, I'm not sure, because even a normal 96 key is extremely feature rich. And at 105, you can already fit a 104 key in there with one extra.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously just a little bit more mainstream. Most people that aren't super into keyboards have never seen or heard of a 96 key and have no idea what it is or where to get one. Obviously, people like us are like, yeah, they're everywhere, like even all sorts of inexpensive versions, even. But so this is kind of Vortex's slightly more mainstream approach towards that kind of keyboard, I guess. I don't know. I'm not in love with it, but if it works for people, that's what matters.
If it brings people into the hobby, cool. Because Vortex has actually been great at doing that, so maybe they have a great straight way with this to bring people in the hobby I don't know about. Like I said, I don't always disagree with a lot of things Vortex does, but I will not deny the fact that they've done an amazing job at bringing people into the community.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, just look at the poker line. Poker X, Poker 2, Poker 3, wildly successful keyboards for what they are. All right. That'll wrap up our Computex news section.
Talk about our sponsors.
Yeah, of course. Let's talk about the sponsors. Start us off, Hugh.
Yeah, starting off with our sponsors, Input Club. They're pretty awesome. Actually, most of it, not most, but like a third of Input Club is actually in Taiwan for Computex right now. Most likely hanging out with Kaiwall because they're bros. But visit Kono.store when you get a chance if you're looking for speakers, or if you want to give your interest in any of their interest checks like SA Royalty or DSA Groove. Or if you're looking for White Foxes or Night Foxes, check them out. Although I think they're both sold out. But the White Fox Keyboard True Fox kit is still in stock for $100. Check it out when you get a chance. Check out some Hako switches. Who's next, Ryan?
Yeah. So next we have the Beast in the East Z Frontier. Holy crap! I just messed that up. Okay, there we go. Where you can check out all sorts of key sets and in group buys they have going on. They got round 2 Burgundy going on right now. Is Necro still going on? It says it's still going on. Oh, okay, yeah, I guess Necro's still going on. But they got lots of GMK key sets in stock. Probably the biggest at any stock that you can buy. So make sure you check there first. Hopefully they can settle your GMK or DSA or even SA needs.
Yeah. Next up, we have the ever so awesome Novel Keys. Go to Novel Keys, get some box royals if you haven't already. Come on. And you know what? While you're there, check out this awesome desk pads. Okay, $20. They're giant. Got stitched edges. They're great. Novel Keys. Get some awesome switches. Get some awesome desk pads, and get a smiling mic icon as you click on that T-shirt, which you should also buy. Last but not least, Brian, who do we got?
We have Zeal PC, owner of the most popular tactile switches in the community, the Zelios. I think he's at Computex, right?
He is also at Computex. He had lunch with Andrew of Input Club yesterday.
He said that they randomly met each other like at Computex, and even I don't know. That was pretty funny. Anyways, you can head over to zealpc.net and get some sick Zelio switches. I really do like the newer 78 gram. I think they are quite nice. Also pick up some Telios. Telios are freaking fantastic IMO. They're super smooth and they look gorgeous. Plus you get all those gold bling bling stabilizers if that's your thing.
Yes. So thank you to all of our awesome sponsors. And hey, thank you to everyone here. Thank you, Sweaty Yeti, for that bit bomb. I see all those clover bits in, and then you hit those 2 100 bits in and spread them.
It's almost like they're making a drink, and those are like mint leaves or something.
Yeah. I have a discussion point.
Do you? Because I had one too.
Yeah.
I actually wrote mine down.
Oh, you did? I didn't even write mine down. You should go with yours first, and I'll write mine down so you can see it.
You do that. So we'll roll into a Q&A momentarily here, but let's get in the chat a little integrated into this as well. So I want to talk about a little precursor here. I was talking to people in the Discord about basically value on boards and like how it's perceived based on where you are and how much you have to pay for that board. The shipping and that and stuff like that. A lot of that comes into play here. So, like, if you're paying for, let's say, we'll make this easy, a $200 keyboard, and it's in the US or whatever, and we, being in the US, we pay $20 to ship that board or whatever, so it's a $220 keyboard shipped for myself. But someone in Europe, Germany, or wherever, and they have to pay for like things like shipping and VAT and stuff like that, it winds up being like, let's say, a $350 keyboard because of decorations and stuff. Is the value of that keyboard worse because of all of that, or do people just kind of take that into account, that it's just a necessary thing that you have to pay? Because this really got me thinking, like, are keyboards better or worse value based on where you live in the world, or do you just kind of chalk it up to shipping and you don't see that as that actually affecting the value of the keyboard itself? I don't know, that was a really convoluted way of saying it, but I don't really know how to explain it any better than that. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. So
how about you use like your rephrase your original question, which would be, do you believe value is perceived differently based on where you live due to import costs?
Yes, that. My brain is not working today. But yes. Sweaty Eddie, thank you for... Holy crap, that's a lot of bits.
Briano,
it's like an avalanche.
As well. Oh my goodness, yeah. The cup is full.
Oh yeah, no joke. Holy crap.
I was waiting for someone to put like a big bit bomb in, or like a sub, and just it goes everywhere.
Oh my god, the drink is full. Can I drink it now?
The Sky 256K, while it might not affect the quote-unquote value, but the price would definitely deter someone from buying it. Feeling good, says, I assume it would affect value. The same is true for food ingredients. Depending where you live, you're going to pay more for ingredients that make your food. Shipping prices, boards out of value, absolutely no chance RPG. Especially brash weights.
Brash weights. Oh man, I saw the bombs go in the cup. It's way too much fun, man. Yeah, no, that makes sense. But it's like the cost of the product itself doesn't change. Like in this example, the product is the same cost in both locations. Just getting it to you is more expensive. Not because the board itself is a higher cost, but because of import, etc. So does that just mean the board is like bad value depending on where you are, but good value depending on where you are? I was also kind of drunk when I had this conversation in Discord, of course. Eat the shipping, but the import fee. Okay.
Sire says, I don't know if the value changes, but something definitely changes. I probably don't look at a $200 board the same way as you do. I'm being in the EU.
Yeah. Okay. No Chance RPG says, yes, price is price. I mean, that's fair. That's kind of where I stand on it. I was just a little torn because I could kind of see it from both ends, but I'm obviously in the US, so a lot of these times I don't have that. I don't have these import fees.
No import fees.
Yeah.
Not on my finished goods.
For real. So it's kind of unfortunate, but yeah. But like, a group buy, you can join a group buy, like a $200 group buy, and it winds up being like a $400 keyboard just to get it to you. It's like, well, that doesn't make sense. But like for me, it's still $200 keyboard. For you, it might not be.
Feeling Good Music puts a good point. A popular notion on mech market is, quote, just trying to make back what I paid for. Well, classic mech market line.
Oh, we've all seen that.
So I think depending on the region, the value does change.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people
case has also exchange rates affect the value more than shipping. That's true too. Exchange rates for sure. And yeah, keyboards are a tough hobby. Like they're hard enough in the US. Like I can't even imagine being outside the US.
So Sire says, I'd probably look at a $200 keyboard more like a $350 keyboard because that's what I'm going to be paying. Yeah. I can definitely understand that logic behind it. I mean, think of it. Every time we talk to Hata, he told us he moved one other than just employment. He moved from Canada to US to save shipping.
That's true. Yeah, Yep. Coming into the US just so you can have a keyboard hobby at a lower cost. That's the real dream.
That's the American dream. Second is with Sire. Something changes just based on the tag that people put on their mech market posts. I know a lot of people are hesitant to purchase something they've wanting a long time because it's across an ocean. The potential risks sometimes outweigh the reward.
Flux Capacitor says it's not right to expect people to sell their keyboards for a loss because you live somewhere that has import fees.
You know, I feel like this gives me like more validation to sell Conus only because I'm saving my European people who are interested in what I sell from import fees. See, I'm watching out for you guys, and I'm also too lazy to fill out custom forms.
I ship stuff internationally all the time these days, so like it's annoying. Like I just have like international forms like in my closet. Like I have a bunch of them, and I just like fill them out before I go to the post office nowadays. It's just like it is annoying. It's obviously much more expensive, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe just something for people to keep in mind.
So Fluxcatcher asks, should people adjust costs for shipping? Whenever I sell, that's what I do. My price is always final and shipped because my shipping price is already baked into the price I'm selling it at. That's the path. That's the route I take. Anytime.
Sorry, I'm a little late on saying this, but for this discussion point, I don't mean secondhand market at all. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like buying, like joining a keyboard, for instance.
Oh, like a group buy. So
like it's not a secondhand aftermarket kind of thing. Let's say you join a Duck buy or something, or whatever, an LZ group buy, and then you have to pay a lot more based on where you are, and like does that affect the actual value of the keyboard? But I guess it's always going to be personal perception of value.
I'm going to say yes, because even for me, when I pay for a custom that's heavy, I remember that shipping fee. And whenever people, how much did that cost to me? I always tell them it cost this plus shipping, and shipping was this. So at least for me, even in America, where I don't have ridiculously high import fees, or any at all beneath a certain threshold, which I will never cross for keyboards, I put it into consideration. So I definitely think that a lot of people internationally would consider it a part of the value or cost as well. But maybe not, because a lot of times when yeah, it does. Because a lot of times when I've asked European people, if you don't mind, how much does this cost you? And they're like, oh, well, I paid this plus shipping and fees, which came out to a total of.
Yeah. The shipping definitely affects the value. Yeah, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it's still money that you're paying for that product. That's kind of a bummer because, for instance, another reason I wanted to bring this up is because on the show sometimes we're like, this group buy is a good value because it costs this much, but in reality it costs that much for us or for someone or for someone else, but for everyone else other than those people it's actually quite a bit more expensive, and it winds up not being a good value because it's 50 to 100% more expensive than the listed price. Yep. So, just something to think about. All right, Huey, what is your discussion? What do you want to talk about today?
Should colorways be made in every profile? When does it work and when doesn't it work? Big example, for example, I think of one people would say an example that worked is Hyperfuse. Hyperfuse has been in DCS, has been in DSA, has been in GMK several times, and has been in SA. Right.
All the most popular profiles.
Right. We have Honeywell in GMK and DSA now. Right.
It's also an SA.
And SA. Okay. There's been Dolch that's been made in all sorts of profiles.
Dolch has been all of our top 3 as well.
Yeah. So is it just based off demand? Because sometimes I think it will ruin a look of a colorway or set if it's made in a different profile. That's what I think. For me, a part of the look isn't just the colors, but the profile itself. I think that, for me, that constructs the image of a set. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that they're separate and a colorway will still look good regardless of profile, or do you think it only works for certain sets?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of it is going to be obviously like the color palette as well too, because if you take a GMK set and a signature plastic set, they're not going to be able to do the exact same colors necessarily. So that's why you get hyperfuse on GMK, and it looks quite a bit different than it would on DSA or SA. So different colors there. That could be part of the reasons why you might think it looks better or worse.
So I'll give an opinion. I'll give an opinion on one I think didn't work. So when Andy Living Speed Bump ran SA Retro, I thought that was absolutely perfect on the SA set, even though I don't really like SA that much. And even Andy's like, yeah, this was like the perfect profile for this set. I chose it because it has that retro theme, retro aesthetic, and come 2 years later, there's the retro cubic. Is it not retro? What am I talking about? It's what's it called? Is it called SA? No, it's
Jukebox.
Jukebox. Sorry, Jukebox. Jukebox. Yeah, Jukebox and SA. I thought Jukebox and SA, that was perfect. That was absolutely beautiful, wonderful.
Yeah.
And he said like this is Jukebox is meant for SA. I'm pretty sure he said like somewhere almost along those exact words.
Yeah.
And now 2 years later, it's on Cubic, and I'm like, that's wrong. That just doesn't match with, in my opinion, how Jukebox should be. It does not contain the spirit of Jukebox.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jukebox was supposed to be kind of like a classy vintage kind of feel. And SA works a lot better for that because SA has been around for so long that it actually is like a classic profile. Whereas, Cubic is much newer.
So,
and of course, you're also going to have things like fonts, just like the way legends look. Center legend versus left top legend or whatever, and et cetera, et cetera.
SA Godspeed versus XDA Godspeed, Skeletor DSA versus GMK Skeletor. Because when you go to different profiles, they're also restricted to the common fonts of that profile as well, which in my opinion changes the design.
Yeah. At the end of the day, though, like, if enough people like it, it's gonna get ran. And that's really all that matters. Like, it doesn't. Yeah, like I don't think you can really say that like a colorway should or should not be run in a certain set, provided there's enough people that actually want it.
I'm not saying they can't. I'm just saying, like, do you guys still think it would look good? Do you still think it would look bad? Do you think colorways and the design is tied to the profile, or do you think profile is independent? I think they're tied. I think, for example, if once you change that profile, it's almost completely a different set.
Yeah, it's a valid argument.
That's how I feel about. That's how I feel about that. Maybe it's a controversial thought. But the great thing is, there's no one answer, as Dixie Mech said. There's tons of different answers, and that's the point of this discussion. I want to hear what you guys think about this, because discussions are good.
Seems like most people are in agreement that it's kind of a preference thing. Some people like it one way, some people just like it another way.
I feel like everyone says it's a preference, and then no one actually states their preferences. I promise, guys, we're not gonna shoot you down if you do.
What's funny is I actually prefer a lot of key set colorways on SA, because I think Signature Plastics has like richer, more vibrant colors, but I don't like typing on it. I know Andy actually has a similar problem. He doesn't like. Andy did Jukebox, like one of the best SA sets ever, and he doesn't even like typing on SA. He's like, yeah, I used it for like 2 hours. That's it. I'm like, yep. He's like, well, it just sits in my closet. Yeah, pretty much, man. Pretty much. I feel that. Yeah, so we'll also kick off our Q&A segment here to end out our show in a little bit. So if you have questions, we have answers. Of course, you guys can still continue to talk about the discussion points that we've just gone over. But if you have other questions or related questions, now is the time.
Brian, one thing I forgot to say in mail call is I got a new Dremel recently, and for my Novatouch housings, I need the housings I have for the stabilizers for this one came from my Realforce, so I need to Dremel out the sides so the stabbed keys don't hit the housing. So that's gonna be fun. People are gonna see me Dremel a board, probably tomorrow when we do keyboard chores.
Cool. Very cool. Also, make sure for the questions for us guys, you use the tag @TopClack. That way we can see them much easier. Appreciate that.
Oh, what up, Zeal? Zeal's watching. Hey, Zeal, how's Computex?
Is Zeal still in Taiwan?
Sharing
outrageous pictures of food that...
according to his website, he's gone until the 10th, so...
Oh, there you go. Very cool. Zekin0 is asking you, did you get your 910 yet?
No, I didn't. I'm still waiting, dude. I want to get it so bad.
Did you get shipping notification yet?
No, I paid shipping a week ago. I know Frostbite told me it took him 3 weeks after he paid shipping to get a shipping notification. I know Steve has been waiting as long. So some people have been waiting a lot even after they've paid their shipping notification. So, this is waiting. And Zekin's getting his Monday. Oof, can't wait to see your build. Can't wait.
Nice. I'm jealous. Bug Whisperer is asking, Huey, will you make more Animu stickers for the dozens of new Switch types?
If I could clone myself so I could work twice as hard, probably. Right now, it's just like not on the horizon just because I just don't have the time. That's the truth. I mean, I want to say yes, but I can't, like, if I say yes now, that's not going to be actualized for, like, months.
Yeah. Cool. The Ragin Asian is asking, have you heard back from Andrew about your Switch idea?
Speaking of Raging Asian, breaking that friend DA earlier in chat, I saw you. Rip. No, I haven't. He's in Taiwan.
You're fired.
Yeah, I mean, I pitched the idea of what it was called and everything, and like, hey, this is friend DA, and everyone's like, yeah, we're not going to talk about it. And then he talks about it in chat at the beginning of the episode. So, that's that. Rip.
Lump of Unworth says, thoughts on CA66 or reruns so soon? Are they doing another run of it already?
What Barry has been saying is, if you're worried, there might be extras. Don't worry about it if you know what I mean. Verbatim, Barry has said that like 4 or 5 times to separate people asking about next run of CA66.
Olivia's asking, what is our favorite yellow set for SA or GMK? Yellow set. I can't even think of sets that have yellow like off the top of my head.
Is SA Olivia going to be a thing? That's pink though. Oh, but back to real quick thoughts on CA66 rerun. You know, it was a popular board when it ran, decently popular with, you know, mixed emotions and how it looks. Now that a ton of pictures have been getting posted everywhere, it's getting really popular really quickly, to be perfectly honest. And you know what? If they want to take advantage of the hype and do another run, this is one of the best times to do it, especially if they're already geared to do so. Because it happens all the time, you know, a group buy, people are like, about it, and then it ships, the pictures come out, and then suddenly people are like, oh, I should have got it. So.
I like this. Brick Cube says, do the alphas of GMK Plum count as yellow?
Favorite yellow set for SA? Oh, or GMK is the second part of her question. Oh, I guess
yeah,
my favorite yellow set would be in GMK Serica, or I guess there's yellow in Red Samurai. So
yeah, when people say yellow set, what does that really mean? Just that it has yellow in it, or
yeah,
like,
I don't know.
Yellow the primary color there? Because I can't really think of many like yellow sets besides, you know, Serica obviously has a fair amount of yellow. I don't know. don't think I have one, I guess. Feel Good Music is asking, do you guys know of any incidents where things were stolen at a meetup, and if so, what happened? How was it handled?
Brian knows.
Yeah, at the very first Seattle keyboard meetup that I organized, we did it at like a community college. We had a pretty big room, but we had like 100 people in this room, and it was a little cramped. And I'm actually not going to say who it was because he's a popular member of he's a very active member in the community, very nice guy. But he had 2 Cosmos taken from him, or no, it might have just been 1 Cosmo. I think they tried to steal 2. He had like 4 Cosmos on a board, and at the time, and I mean they still are. Cosmo was the like talk of the town. Everyone wanted a Cosmo. Super popular. People were selling them for like $300-$400. It was nuts. And yeah, some kid, I guess, just walked up and grabbed it from his board, took it right off the cap, and walked away, and then left the meetup, I guess. I didn't see like the scenario happen. It's kind of just like what I was told, because I was elsewhere in the room at the time. But yeah, so that was pretty bum. But though it was never found, Key Collective, one of the designers of the Cosmo, sent him another one. Not only he didn't send him like just like a normal one either. He sent him like a super rare, like one of 1 or 1 of 2 or 1 of 3 colorway one. So even though he had a more common colorway stolen, he had it replaced by a very rare colorway, which if you're in the artisan community, that's like really, really cool. But yeah, people were looking, man. People were trying to figure out who it was. Anyways, it's enough of that. Sire123 is asking, for someone that like Gateron Browns, I'm that guy. I bought some Hako Violets. Have you guys tried them out? Exactly how light are they? Maybe I should have gone for the clear.
I have violets. Opening it up right now.
I have violets as well.
They're light, but I like them.
They're light, but they're not like, I wouldn't really say they're like lighter Gateron Browns. And if they are, it's not by much. I can use them pretty comfortably, and I think Gateron Browns are a little too light for me.
Like I wish all brown switches would be replaced with Hako Violets, because I think they're like a really nice light-hearted kind of tactility.
Yeah, I like the violets a lot. But yeah, I mean, if Gateron Browns are too light for you, then Hako Violets might be too light for you. Clears are quite a bit heavier than the violets. Feel Good Music is asking, how do we address / prevent such things in the future with meetups going so big, especially on the West Coast, Best Coast?
So, I actually have things implemented. The last meetup I did for the awesome 450-person NorCal meetup I've implemented, and I have things that I do for every meetup to help prevent issues like that. I don't know if I should talk about them. I mean, a big part of it is having a good volunteer system of well-informed people who know things and who you trust. I mean, I ask for who wants to be a volunteer, for every big meetup, and there's always a good amount of people who join, and I tell them, hey, if you want to be a volunteer, there are responsibilities, there are things that go with it. We have paperwork everyone fills out when they sign in. I'm sure you remember for the NorCal meetup as well. So... Yeah, there's definitely anyone who does a big meetup that's like more than 100, 150 people these days should consider, things that would benefit the safety and comfort of all attendees.
Yeah.
And things I have to consider.
Yeah, after that incident, I had pretty much recommended that people either not bring their artisans or they stay with their artisan at all times. That way that doesn't happen again. And as far as I'm aware, nothing else has been stolen at any meetup that I've been to since then. So, but yeah, I also just had several people that would just always just kind of walk around, keep their eyes open, make sure everything's cool. So
just real quick, the last one thing to touch about the artisans and keeping them safe. A really popular thing people do is they buy those cases, those acrylic cases, where it's like a 6x4 grid, and they're like a jewelry case, and you just pop artisans in each one. I know a lot of people who would walk around so they never leave their artisans, so people want to see their artisans, they could show it to them while they're there, as opposed to leave it on their keyboard in case they do go around. And of course, you know, use the buddy system. You know, a lot of times when I was busy doing meetup stuff, Brian was watching our boards at the NorCal meetup. When he wanted to go around, I would take a moment to watch the boards for a little bit, or we'd ask one of our close friends, hey, if you want to just spend like 2-3 minutes by our boards, just keep an eye out or something. Something like that, you know, was always a easy, good way to do that you can do as an individual to watch out for that.
Yeah, for sure. Brian1905 is asking, any build streams this weekend? Yes. Tomorrow, confirmed. We will be building stuff. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time. Come hang out. It'll probably be around this time of night, around 7 or 8 p.m. Pacific time.
I have like desk reorganization to do before I can stream. That's
why. Flux Capacitor is saying, totally going to get the M0110, the modern one, I imagine. I'm drawn to it because of the retro vintage look, but I'm torn if I should get the Apple logo engraved on the bottom left. Curious what everyone thinks about going this far with paying homage. Interesting. Isn't that logo copyrighted?
I don't want one. So, fun fact, some of you probably, well, I don't know, can I say it? There's So, there will be a review unit going around for the M0110 that several reviewers will have access to for a week at a time before they ship it to other reviewers. You should definitely pay attention to when those reviewers release their reviews on the prototype M0110. I will say that much.
Alright. I don't really know too much about it. But, yeah, I don't know. I'd probably go without the Apple logo, honestly. AZ Walkerstop is asking, related to these questions about theft, have you heard whether the U80 will have a Kensington cable lock attachment? Do you see this becoming a popular feature on expensive keyboards? No.
No.
Probably not.
Because most people use them at home.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, meetups are kind of like a secondary thing. It would be interesting to see, I guess, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Come on, contrast Twitch. NGB is asking me how I'm liking my filmed vintage blacks. They're nice. Basically, the vintage blacks I used were not quite as smooth as I was hoping for, and I used a very thin oil on them. So, you know, I didn't really cover up a whole lot of the imperfections. They feel and sound fine. As far as the films go, I don't think I feel a difference with the films at all, honestly. I'd love to say that I do, but I just don't.
Is there a sound difference with the films?
I don't know, because I don't have the exact same TX60 without films. I mean, that's a question that can't really be answered unless you have literally the exact same thing, but without it. So I don't know. If there is, it's pretty minor. But I don't know. Can't answer that, unfortunately. He also asked, favorite Topper board and why, stock or modded? We've talked about this quite a bit on the show.
I'll take out my favorite modded.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll pretty much always appreciate a modded HHKB for my favorite modded board. As far as stock boards, the HHKB probably comes up last for me. I think the 660C and the 55-gram Realforce are quite a bit better than a stock HHKB, personally. But HHKB is very mod friendly. I know they all kind of are, but HHKB is just kind of like forever in your heart.
Yeah. For me, favorite modded is my HHKB. Favorite stock, 55-gram Topra, specifically in the beige white gray, not the black, the beige white gray.
Yeah. Read. All right. That is the end of our questions. I'm getting quoted. They're nice. Yeah, I mean, people that know me know how I feel about the blacks. I think it's always kind of a crapshoot. Sometimes you get some that are really good, and sometimes you get some that are really bad. And unfortunately, for a lot of people in the community, a lot of people perceive even the ones that aren't very good as very good. So people get it through their minds that like all vintage blacks are good, and that's like not how it works. Anyways, I've beat that dead horse way too many times. I don't think vintage blacks are bad.
You will never beat it enough in our community.
Yeah, I think vintage blacks can be good. They have a lot of potential, but I think it's very hard to find ones that are very smooth and very consistent. And to me, that those are very important for having a good switch.
Fight the good fight.
I don't like inconsistent switches, and I don't like switches that aren't smooth. A lot of people don't care about smoothness, and that's fine, totally fine. But to me, smoothness is very helpful for a key switch. I don't want to feel things that shouldn't be there when I'm pressing the switch. Anyways, off of that, I could rant on vintage blacks for a very long time, and I have
make
before.
A video for that. Just the Quake vintage.
The love-hate
rant.
The love-hate relationship.
Just the most clickbaity title: Quakeham's rants about blacks.
Oh God! instant strike on the YouTube channel. Sire123 is asking, do either of you own any of the Enjoy PBT Korean sub-legend caps? If so, mind showing them? Yeah, I have some right behind me.
I sold mine, so no.
I'm not using the right spacebar because the person I bought this one forgot to send it to me, but he is, so it's fine. But these are the all black Hangul ones, so it's just black legends, black sub-legends. I know I'm just doing this on my webcam, so it's not amazing. I'll take some better pictures for nice pictures later.
Yeah, hit up that blow up keyboard pics, Brian, with all your keyboards.
Oh my God, I always forget how heavy the FL is until I'm like holding it with one hand, like
until
with
you're
my arms
sore.
stretched out. Yeah, I'm just like, oh. I lift weights with my FL. The Raging Agent is asking, do you think there's a market for budget HHKD style cases?
Yes, the Tina
absolutely.
C and Tokyo 60 proves there is definitely one, and it is thriving.
Yeah,
absolutely
Tina,
thriving.
Look how many Tinas there are around. There's so many HHKD layout Tinas, it's nuts. And yeah, the Tokyo 60 did quite well in group buy. And even on more expensive boards, people often choose the HHKB options. So yeah, definitely a market for that, for sure. All right, now it's probably as good a time as any to wrap this up. Like we did say earlier, tomorrow build stream. Probably around 7 or 8, you'll see a post in it, and in the Discord and on Reddit beforehand. But probably in the 7 to 8 p.m. range, PST.
Yeah, so
I do not know where the Tokyo 60 is at. Sorry, I was answering questions.
No worries. So that is the show for today. Thank you everyone so much for joining. And thank you to all of our great sponsors. Thank you to all of you wonderful watchers, whether you're watching here live or you catch this on the VOD or on Podbean. Everyone, thank you so much once again. Build chores coming soon. More Top Hat content coming sooner.
Shout out to all the people that subbed and donated bits today. There was quite a few of you, so we definitely greatly appreciate that. Make sure below the stream you check out link to Discord channel. Join there, talk to us, chill, we do giveaways. Make sure you click on the YouTube link below the stream as well. That'll take you to our YouTube channel. Sub there. We're coming up on 2K subs. Pretty cool.
I have a giveaway ready for that. I have 3 giveaways ready for that, actually. I actually do, physically.
Giveaways
My body is prepared. I hope your luck, your RNGesus is prepared. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and honestly, the 2-year anniversary of Top Clack coming up soon, too. So that's only like 2 months away. So we'll probably have some epic giveaways for that, just like we did last year. That was a lot of fun. We had a lot of stuff to give away. Anyways,
anyways, we'll catch you next time, everyone. Have a ever so wonderful evening. I'm gonna grab In-N-Out, and then I'm gonna be in Overwatch. Brian's gonna probably eat, and then hopefully be in Overwatch. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. Peace out, everyone.
Definitely eat though.